Good morning. Welcome to our Bayer Crop Science crop report review. Just minutes ago, we had the release of the supply and demand report from the USDA, also crop production, and then quarterly grain stocks. And we want to go over the numbers and then the reaction of the market. Let's just start, and I think. Well, let's just start with the numbers themselves in production, and we'll see where the market was and then what it did. In cotton, I'll give you what the guess was. The guess before this number was 12.98 million bales. That was the guess, what it would be. It came out at 12.94 million bales, so less than the average guess, but within the range of expectations. Now, cotton had a very violent reaction with this. Just before this number came out, cotton was up 62 going into the report. The market, let's look and see what it did. As soon as the report came out, it dropped 52 points. It dropped back down towards 61.60, and then it turned back up and proceeded to rally from that low 68 points, getting back to 62.28. That was a new high on the day, and right now the market is trading at 61.93. So a lot of reaction from cotton, and we're pretty close to where we were before this all started. But let's look at the ending stocks. The expectation for cotton was 3.08 million bales. It came out for ending stocks 3.1 million bales, very close to what they thought and within in line with the range of expectations. Looking at a breakdown, exports came out at 10 million bales. The guess was a range of 9.7 to 10 million, so it was on the high end for exports. Domestic consumption, they had guessed it would be 3.7 million bales. It came out at 3.6 million bales. So those are the numbers, and that is the reaction in cotton. Let's look at corn crop production. The average guess going into this, the analyst estimates were for 13.647 billion bushels. It came out under that at 13.601, still within expectations, but below what they thought for production. Looking at corn also for ending stocks, the guess was 1.774 ending stocks, that's billion bushels. It came out at 1.08, 1.802. Let me say it again, 1.802 was what the actual number was for ending stocks, a little higher than the average guess. And then the quarterly stocks for grain, it came out at 11.212. That was what came out minutes ago, and the average guess was 11.25, so close to expectations. So what's happened with corn? Corn and beans were similar. The markets actually rallied. Let's look at the corn number. The market was trading at 350 in March corn. Just a minute before this came out, it proceeded to rally to 363 3/4. That's a rally of 13 3/4 cents right after this report. And right now, the March corn is trading at 359 1/2. So it's backed off of the high made right after this. So that's the numbers in corn. That's the reaction in corn, a positive reaction. We're right now up 7 1/2. That puts corn up 7 1/2. Before this number came out, a minute before, it was down 2, so a positive move there. Let's look at soybeans. Soybeans, the production number for soybean, the average guess was 3.983 billion bushels. The actual number was 3.93, so that was a smaller production number than had been guessed. And looking at ending stocks for soybeans, the average guess was 471 million bushels. It came out at 440 million bushels, less than they thought. The quarterly stocks number for soybeans, they expected it to be, or thought or guessed it would be, 2.718 billion bushels. It came out at 2.715. So all these numbers were a little friendlier than had been thought. What did beans do? Another positive reaction there. Before this came out, March beans were trading at 8.57 and a half. It proceeded over a 2-minute period to rally 21 and a half cents and get up to 8.79. That was the immediate reaction. Right now, the March beans are trading at 8.77 and a half. That's up 16 and 3/4. That market's holding on to most of its gains, and the report came out 20 minutes ago. So also in wheat, the wheat numbers that came out, really we're looking at, let's see, the world ending stocks number was the most important one. They thought it would be 229.8 for million metric tons. It came out at 232. So it was a little higher than they had thought. And also, let's see, for wheat quarterly stocks, the guess on quarterly stocks was 1.697 billion bushels. It actually came out above that at 1.738. But the reaction in wheat was like beans and corn, an immediate positive reaction, probably moving a little bit more in sympathy to the upside with the wheat. Let's look and see what the market's done. Before this came out, wheat was down 5 on the day. Wheat proceeded to go from 463 to 478. That was a rally of 15 cents right after the report. Right now, the wheat is trading up 10 at 479, and it's been about 3 cents higher than this, but it is also holding on to most of its gains. So that's really it. Positive reaction in corn, positive reaction in soybeans and in wheat. The cotton market is pretty close to where it was before the report came out, but it did have a quick move down, a quick move back up, making new highs, and now it's settling in. It's actually down a little bit from those levels we talked about earlier. Right now, cotton's up 34 at 61.84. So that's it. That's the report for the day, the monthly reports that just came out, and we will have our afternoon update later and see how everything finally shakes out on the close from these reports. Thanks. We'll talk to you later.